Hey, Walk the Line listeners, welcome to another episode of the Walk the Line podcast. I'll be your host, Greg Sowers, and today we'll be discussing tryout recap. Previously, we recorded an episode about tryouts, kind of what to do to stand out, but I don't think we've done anything regarding, after tryouts, if you made the team, if you didn't make the team. So we'll be kind of talking about a few different items with what to do if you didn't make it, what to do if you did make it. So episode 34, tryout recap. So, here in Nashville, we have tryouts at the end of April, beginning of May. And this year in particular, I feel like it was tougher for a lot of families, players, coaches, and organizations. Think of that whichever way you want to. There's a lot of teams, a lot of movements, between programs. There's an ice situation with not that much ice and a lot of, players that want to play. So a lot of tough decisions. Unfortunately, a lot of players who may have been on travel teams last year that may not have the opportunity to play travel this year. So for those of you who did make your team, obviously congratulations. And I guess we'll start with that topic. Went through tryouts, you made the team that you were trying to try out for, whether it be AA, AAA, single A. And even if you tried out for AA and you thought you would make AA and now you're on the A team, this goes for you as well. So you made it. You're on a hockey team for the 24-25 season. So kind of now what? Your coach, you're not going to see your coach for potentially 3 months when the season starts in August. And, what do I do now, now that I'm on this team with basically 3 months to kill until the season starts? Well, the first thing is you should be proud for making the team. And the second thing is the work is just starting. That's step one. You probably put in a lot of work to make the team you're on. But now you have 3 months to either, make the decision of if you want to be a hockey player or you are just someone who plays hockey. Someone who just plays hockey, may not take full advantage of making, the AA or AAA or A team. And, I'm not saying you have to skate every day in the summer or even once a week, but, the difference between being a hockey player and playing hockey is, that decision of, I'm going to make an effort this summer to improve at my game on and off the ice, whether it be, strength training or you're working on your shot or stick handling in the garage. You have 3 months of decisions to make if you're going to show your coach that you are a better player than when they saw you back in May. So just make sure, you're doing things to prepare yourself for the upcoming season. Again, every player is different. I'm not saying you need to skate every day because burnout is real. Take some time, relax, but still have in mind that, you accomplished a goal of making a team and you want to make the most of that accomplishment. So make sure you're ready to start the season, go in, well conditioned, and don't be the player who hasn't done anything for 3 months and is going to be, behind the curve when the season starts. For my team in particular, we had after tryouts, we had, just a quick little call, and basically said, look, you guys made the team. I'm happy for you, but now, the real work starts. We made a little summer workout plan if they had nothing else going on. And everyone kind of can train a different way, but even if it's just going outside and playing roller hockey or depending on what age group you are, obviously if you're a U18, U16 AAA player, it's probably time to start thinking about how am I going to train hockey specific to, carry over to on ice performance. But, don't be the U14, U12 player who's just sitting in their room all summer playing video games. Go outside, work on your aerobic, performance. Do something. Don't just be the kid who takes for granted the opportunity that they've earned and come in behind the curve at the start of the season. So again, back to my team, I basically laid out a workout program that they could use, kind of have plyometrics in there, some strength training. None of it required a gym. It's all stuff they can do at home. Just something to stay in shape over the summer. And then again, the job is just starting. So take advantage of it. Don't underestimate the privilege that you've earned. Whereas, you being on a double A team or a triple A team, someone out there wanted your spot. So don't squander that opportunity. So the other side of this is what happens if you didn't make the team. Obviously, it happened to a lot of players out there, and it's tough, right? You had this goal, you probably worked hard to accomplish that goal of being on a double A team or a triple A team or an A team. And the first thing is, it's going to hurt and sting, and that's completely fine. Sometimes you learn a lot from those situations. And you can either take it and sulk about it, and it's okay to be sad about it, but you don't want to, use that experience of not making the team and it completely unmotivate you to keep improving or even play hockey. If you love hockey and you want to continue playing hockey, you have a good opportunity to use being cut from a team as motivation. If you don't want to do that extra rep, or if you don't want to go for a run that day, you don't want to shoot pucks in the garage, use that as a reminder of, if I shoot these 50 pucks in the garage today, maybe someone who took my spot this year is not shooting 50 pucks in the garage. Because the reality is, if, hockey's played all around the world and we're kind of in this Nashville bubble, or wherever you may be, bubble of, your local hockey, if you're not working to improve your game and you have aspirations of playing at the highest level you can, someone is working at their game. And you're not only competing against yourself to be better, but obviously you're competing for roster spots or, other teams that all have, 15 to 18 skaters, 2 goalies on each team. So use it as motivation. Again, it's completely normal to be upset by it. But it's a good opportunity to learn from it and grow from it. The other part of this is, you go to a tryout, and I got a few calls from parents and players, and, I didn't make the team, and what do I do now? And, those are tough conversations to have, but, if you try out for a team and you're familiar with the coach or someone within the organization that you tried out for, it's completely fine to ask for feedback. Now, if you ask, you may not get an answer that's going to make you happy, but, they could come back with, I just thought you were a step behind, or, your size at the U16, U18 level, might be better for when you're a second year at the U16 level. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback. The worst thing that happens is you don't get a response, or, obviously they come back and say something that's not going to make you totally happy. But feedback is feedback, and you can take it however you want. But feel free to ask those questions. And kind of the third point, it could be demoralizing if you don't make a team. But if you love the game of hockey and you want to keep playing at a competitive level, there are other options out there. I know, G Nash High School is picking up. So you could potentially play for your high school team. There's a JV program in Nashville. There's house leagues. There's summer teams that you could be a part of. There's tournament teams you could be a part of. So there are other options out there if you didn't make the team that you were shooting for. And also, it doesn't hurt, let's say you tried out for one organization and they didn't have a spot for you there. It doesn't hurt to reach out to another organization and see if they have a spot. I know, like, this year there were less teams in Nashville. So, maybe there's just not spots, but you don't know unless you ask. So it doesn't hurt to send an email. Just reach out, say who you are. If you have a spot, would love the opportunity to try out in some fashion this summer. But those opportunities don't come up, without you asking. A coach isn't going to, say player A didn't make, this Flyers A team or this Pred Select A team, and I'm going to go get them. That normally doesn't happen. It takes some self-promotion to present for those opportunities to be presented to you. So again, these episodes are running a little short, but hopefully everybody's getting something out of them. But congratulations to those of you who did make your teams this go around for tryouts. It's a stressful time for everybody. I feel for the players and families. It's everybody has their own opinion and how things are done here in Nashville with tryouts being on the same day, but it is what it is. If you didn't make your team, it's another opportunity to use it as motivation. Keep working hard. There's always, if you're a first year Bantam or first year U16, just because you didn't make your AA team this year, you're going to be a second year the following year, be bigger, faster, stronger, take the year to get, optimize your skills on the ice, get stronger off the ice. And, there's the only door that's shut is, if you completely stop, if you give up and stop playing. So, I appreciate everybody listening. Do have a few programs going on this summer at the Hockey Lab in Franklin. A couple 3-on-3 tournaments for U14s, U16s, and U18s. And then in June and July, also have some small group training sessions for U12s through U18s. So 3 separate sessions for each of those age groups. If you are interested in those, they're on my Instagram at coach_Greg_Sowers. And obviously, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. But we'll have another episode next week, and hope everyone is enjoying the start of their summers. And make sure you're working the summer if you did make a team or didn't make a team. You got 3 months to the start of your seasons to improve, get better, and come in for the season ready to go. So again, thanks for listening, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your week.